Are you tired of those restless nights, always tossing and turning due to that annoying toilet that runs throughout the night? Frazzled by the water bill that keeps racking up? Well, sleep tight with Fluidmaster's 400LS Leak Sentry Fill Valve. The 400LS fill valve provides the hardworking reliability of Fluidmaster's 400A fill valve combined with the water-saving capabilities of the Leak Sentry device in one valve. Flapper leaks are the leading cause of high water bills. If a leak occurs at the flapper or flush valve, the Leak Sentry device locks the fill valve in a closed position so that the tank does not refill, allowing no more than 1 tank's worth of water loss, in turn alerting you to the leak and saving water and financial cost. Its water-saving roller clamp can be adjusted so that just the right amount of water is supplied to the bowl after every flush, allowing for a powerful flush each time you use the toilet and all the while saving water and money. In order to install the 400LS fill valve, you'll need a wrench, sponge or towel, scissors, measuring tape, a cup or mug, and a bucket or pitcher large enough to hold a gallon of water. Turn off the water supply at the shutoff valve below the tank. Flush the toilet. Using a sponge, soak up the remaining water in the tank. Place a towel or receptacle on the floor beneath the fill valve to catch any residual water left in the lines. Remove the water supply connector nut and the lock nut by turning them counterclockwise. You may need a wrench to loosen the nuts. Lift the old fill valve out of the tank. Place the shank washer onto the threaded shank of the fill valve with the flat side up. Push the shank washer all the way up the threaded shank so that it's flush against the flange. Measure the height of the overflow pipe. Place the fill valve into the tank, but do not secure it with the lock nut. Locate the CL or critical level mark just below the water-saving roller clamp nipple. Measure the height of the CL mark. The CL mark should be set 1 inch higher than the top of the overflow pipe. Ensure the retaining ring is locked in place. To adjust the height of the fill valve, hold the top of the fill valve steady with one hand and turn the shank of the fill valve with the other. Turn the shank clockwise to lower the valve height and counterclockwise to raise the valve height. Disconnect the clip at the end of the chain from the Leak Sentry device and let the chain hang freely. Place the fill valve into the tank so that the refill nipple is pointing toward the overflow pipe. Hold the shank of the fill valve in place while tightening the lock nut in a clockwise direction. Hand tighten the lock nut only. Slide the refill clip onto the right side of the overflow pipe with the metal tab on the outside of the pipe. Connect one end of the water-saving roller clamp to the nipple on the fill valve. Cut the refill tube to size and connect the end of the hose to the nipple on the clip. Squeeze and slide the hose clamps down to the ends of the hose. Make sure the hose is not kinked. You do not need to use this clip if your flush valve is already equipped with a hose retainer. The end of the hose must always be higher than the water line. Inserting the hose too far into the pipe will cause siphoning and water loss. Hand tighten the water supply connector to the fill valve. For ease of installation, consider using Fluidmaster's Click Seal Toilet Connector. Simply hand tighten the connector nut until it clicks. The click lets you know it's sealed. Using the Click Seal connector will ensure that you never over-tighten the nut. Be sure to replace all toilet connectors every 5 years to prevent water damage. Now turn the water supply on and let the tank refill. Check for leaks at the connector nut and lock nut. If a leak occurs, tighten the nuts further until the leak stops. You may need to manually disengage the Leak Sentry device to allow the tank to refill. Simply pull up on the chain to do so and let the float cup fall. Push the float cup down and submerge it under the water for 30 seconds. This will ensure enough water enters the float in order to stabilize its buoyancy. Flush the toilet and let the tank refill. Set the water level 1/2 inch below the top of the overflow pipe. Turn the adjustment rod at the side of the fill valve clockwise to raise the water level and counterclockwise to lower the water level. Remove the clip from the end of the chain. Lift the tank lever arm up to the top of the tank. Connect the Leak Sentry chain to the arm so that it is taut. Adjust the slack in the chain as needed so that the Leak Sentry disengages and the tank refills automatically with every flush. Save even more water and money by adjusting the water level in the bowl to the proper level. To determine the proper water level, slowly pour a gallon of water into the bowl and wait 30 seconds for the water level in the bowl to settle. Mark the water level inside the bowl. A dry erase marker works well and is easy to wipe away. Flush the toilet. If the water level in the bowl reaches its mark before the tank finishes filling, reduce the amount of water being supplied to the bowl by adjusting the roller clamp. Push the roller down first, then forward to the next lowest setting. Flush the toilet and repeat the test until the water level in the bowl fills to the proper level, just as the tank stops filling and the fill valve shuts off. If your fill valve continuously runs and does not turn off, you may need to flush debris out of the valve. To do this, you must remove the cap assembly. First, turn off the water shutoff valve. Flush the toilet. Next, hold the shaft of the fill valve below the float cup. Let the float cup rest on the top of one hand in the uppermost position, ensuring the arm is all the way up. Place your other hand on top of the valve with your thumb on the side of the arm that protrudes from the cap. Using the arm as leverage, twist the cap assembly in a counterclockwise direction 1/8 turn. The cap will unlock and you can lift the cap assembly straight up. Inspect the fill valve seat for any large particles or debris and remove by hand or with tweezers. You are now ready to flush debris out of your supply line. Hold a cup or mug over the top of the uncapped fill valve as you turn the water supply shutoff valve back on. Let the water flow for 10 to 15 seconds. Now turn the water off. Repeat this procedure as needed. With the water supply turned off, place the cap assembly on the top of the fill valve with the adjustment rod next to the refill tube. Press the cap assembly down and twist clockwise 1/8 turn to lock it in place. Make sure the float cup is free to move up and down. Congratulations! You have successfully installed the Fluidmaster 400LS fill valve with Leak Sentry. For more information about the 400LS fill valve or other Fluidmaster products, visit our website.